The next day, I tried to leave before sunset. The front door wouldn't open.
The handle bent slightly under my grip.
Like soft bone. A message buzzed on my phone. The building is full.
Space must be made.
That's when I noticed something horrifying. Every apartment door now had scratches on the inside. Not outside. Inside. Numbers appeared on the hallway wall. Scratched deep into paint and concrete. 1724.
My phone vibrated. At night, the walls began replaying sounds, recordings. Every scream matched a file on my phone.
The building wasn't haunted. It was recording replacements, learning voices, mimicking routines,
practicing being human.
At 3:17 am, my phone rang. Caller ID. Me updated. I didn't answer.
The phone answered itself. My voice spoke calmly.
You failed Rule 5. A pause. Then, Rule 5. Never listen to the recordings. The lights went out. This warning. The knocking stopped. The building is quiet again.
The hallway numbers now read 2424.
I'm writing this from outside,
sitting across the street,
watching the building,
because someone just walked out.
Wearing my clothes, using my voice, and unlocking my car. If you saw someone living your life perfectly,
with your voice, your habits, your face,
how would you prove you're the real one? Or would you run? I wasn't supposed to hear my own scream on a recording dated 3 days in the future. But I did, and it wasn't coming from me.
The officer refused to tell me what else was on the footage. He just said one thing before leaving.
If you hear knocking again,
don't call us.
We won't come. I didn't understand why. I do now. That day, I tried to live normally.
I cleaned the apartment.
Open the windows. Let sunlight burn away the night. I told myself this was trauma.
Hallucinations.
Stress. The building felt different though. Too quiet. No footsteps. No neighbors. No elevator sounds.
Like everyone else had already left.
Or been taken.
At exactly 1:12 p.m., my phone began recording by itself. Screen black.
Microphone icon blinking. I didn't touch anything.
From the speaker came faint static. Then breathing.
Slow. Careful. Like someone standing very close to the MIC.
Learning how to breathe like a person. I tried to stop it. The screen flashed a message.
Observation mode active. My hands went numb.
A second message appeared.
Rule 4. Do not try to leave the building after sunset. My stomach twisted.
Because that night, I had planned to leave. At 6:40 p.m., the power flickered.
I stepped into the hallway.
The elevator doors were open.
Waiting.
Inside the mirror panel, my reflection lagged slightly behind my movements.
I raised my hand. The reflection smiled. I stepped back.
The elevator doors didn't close.
Instead, a soft voice drifted out.
My voice.
Come on, it's safe now. The air inside the elevator smelled metallic, like blood on old coins. The light flickered, buzzing like an insect trapped in glass. From deep inside the shaft came footsteps climbing upward. Not riding, climbing.
My phone buzzed violently.
Good. You remembered Rule 4.
The elevator doors slammed shut on their own.
The footsteps stopped.
Then the building shook. That night, I stayed awake.
Lights on. TV playing. Curtains open.
At 3:17 a.m., the knocking returned.
Not on my door. On the wall behind my bed. 3 slow taps. Then scratching.
Like fingers learning where the bones were.
From inside the wall, I heard voices. Not screaming. Talking. Casual. Normal.
Recognizable.
My mother. My old friends. My neighbor. All saying the same thing. Let us out. I pressed my ear to the wall. The wall felt warm. Breathing warm. Then I heard myself speak from inside it.
Don't worry, my voice said.
He'll open the door soon. I stumbled back and vomited.
At 4:02 am, a new audio file appeared on my phone, dated tomorrow.
Against every instinct, I played it. It was chaos.
Footsteps.
Heavy breathing.
Crying.
Then a clear sentence. If you're hearing this, it's already learned your habits.
Then a scream.
Cut short. The next morning, I called the police. I told them everything. The knocking. The neighbor. The screams.
2 officers arrived.
They knocked on my neighbor's door. No answer.
They opened it.
Empty.
Dust everywhere.
Cobwebs in the corners. One officer frowned. Sir, no one has lived here for years. My stomach dropped.
That's impossible, I said. I spoke to him last night.
They checked records.
No tenant.
No name.
No lease.
One officer looked at me carefully.
Are you feeling okay? Before leaving, one officer asked casually.
By the way, why were you opening your door every night at 3:17? My heart stopped. I never opened my door. He stared at me.
Then showed me his body cam footage.
There I was, on the footage, standing in my doorway
at 3:17 am, smiling, talking to someone the camera couldn't see,
and stepping aside
to let it in. The officer paused the video,
zoomed in.
Behind me, reflected faintly in the dark hallway, was a shape that didn't belong to any human body.
Too tall,
Too many joints.
its head bent sideways, watching the camera, watching me, the officer whispered.
Sir, do you know what the thing is? My phone buzzed one last time. If you saw footage of yourself opening the door to something you don't remember,
Would you trust your memory or the video?
and if it already learned your voice,
Who do you think it will call next? I didn't open the door that night. That decision should have saved me. Instead, it made everything worse. The footsteps didn't leave the building anymore. They stayed.
waiting for me to make a mistake. Morning came like nothing had happened.
Sunlight, traffic noise, the smell of frying oil from the food vendor downstairs. I almost laughed at myself.
You imagined it, I told myself.
Stress, sleep deprivation, your mind playing tricks. I showered, dressed, and went to work. But something felt off.
People stared at me longer than normal.
Not curious stares, concerned ones, like they were trying to recognize me.
At work, my phone buzzed.
No vibration sound, just a sudden pressure in my pocket, like something squeezing. A notification appeared.
No sender, no app.
My hands started shaking.
I hadn't told anyone.
I hadn't searched anything online,
Yet somehow, it knew what I was thinking.
because that night, I planned to look. When I got home, I noticed my neighbor's door was open. The man across the hall, quiet, middle-aged, always smelled like cigarettes, was standing inside his apartment,
Staring at his wall,
not blinking.
I cleared my throat. Hey, you okay? Slowly, his head turned toward me.
His eyes were red.
Veins burst like spiderwebs. He smiled, too wide.
Did they knock for you too? He whispered. The hallway lights flickered.
And for a second, just 1 second,
I saw footprints forming behind him on the floor, wet, bare, leading out of his bedroom.
they don't like being ignored, he said. They get impatient.
I asked him what he meant. He laughed. A dry, broken sound. I opened the door. His apartment smelled wrong. Not garbage, not rot. Something older, like damp walls that had absorbed screens for years. From inside his bedroom came a sound, a slow dragging noise, like feet that didn't lift when they walked. He stepped in front of his bedroom door quickly. They're shy, he said.
They don't like witnesses. I glanced at my phone. 3:16 a.m. My blood turned cold. I hadn't noticed how late it was. The neighbor's smile disappeared. They're early tonight. The hallway lights went out. Complete darkness. My phone lit up, lighting the hallway faintly. That's when I heard it.
From inside my neighbor's apartment,
My voice.
calling his name perfectly. The neighbor screamed.
He ran back into his apartment and slammed the door. I stood frozen. Then came the knocking.
Not on my door, on his. Slow,
Polite.
rhythmic.
3 knocks.
A pause.
Then my voice again. Please, open.
I'm scared. The door creaked, just a little. The knocking stopped. What followed wasn't screaming.
It was gurgling.
Wet choking sounds.
Something being dragged. Then silence.
The hallway lights flickered back on. His door was open. The apartment was empty.
No blood.
Nobody. Just deep handprints on the walls, like something had leaned inside, testing the space.
My phone buzzed. Good choice. You didn't answer.
I ran into my apartment and locked the door. I didn't sleep. Every night at exactly 3:17 a.m., someone stops outside my door. I live alone. And last night, the footsteps stopped inside my room. I didn't understand what was happening to me, until the police showed me how many times I had already opened the door. I used to sleep deeply.
The kind of sleep where you don't dream.
Don't wake up, don't remember anything. Just darkness until morning. That changed when I moved into the apartment. It was cheap, too cheap, but I told myself I didn't care. I worked late nights.
I just needed a place to sleep. The first night was quiet.
The second night too.
The third night,
I woke up suddenly, for no reason at all. My room felt colder. Not air conditioner cold. Not night breeze cold. The kind of cold that crawls. I checked my phone.
3:16 a.m.
Then I heard it.
Footsteps. Outside my door.
They didn't walk past. They stopped, right in front of my door.
I held my breath.
The footsteps didn't move.
They just stood there.
Waiting. My phone vibrated. A notification. No app name. No number. Just a message. Open. The clock changed.
3:17 a.m.
The footsteps turned slightly.
Like whoever was standing there had leaned closer to the door.
I didn't move. I didn't answer. After exactly 1 minute, the footsteps walked away. Mini hook number 1. At 3:18 a.m., my phone received another message. Next time,
The next morning, I told myself it was stress.
sleep paralysis.
Hallucinations. That night, I stayed awake. 3:10 a.m., 3:12 a.m., 3:14 a.m.,
My heart was pounding.
3:17 a.m.
The footsteps returned.
This time, there were two sets.
One stood at my door,
The other,
walked slowly around my bed.
I could smell it. Damp cloth, old breath.
Something rotting under perfume,
My blanket felt heavier.
like someone had placed a hand on it. A whisper brushed my ear. Not loud, not threatening, just disappointed. You didn't open.
My phone lit up again. Rule 1. If we knock, you must answer. I screamed.
The lights flickered, and suddenly, I was alone. The next day, I checked my front door.
There were handprints on it.
On the inside, that night, at exactly 3:17 a.m., I heard the footsteps again.
But this time, they were already inside.